Hello fellow modelers, this is Clay from Major Disappointment Models, and been doing some therapy that the shrinks at the VA say I need to do. One of the things they said, we were talking about, and I thought it was just typical modelers, but it tends to be more prevalent in us veterans. We just can't seem to finish something. And I used to think it was just I was losing interest or something, but nope. So one of the goals that he had set for me and I set for myself was to complete a model. So I picked one up at Hobby Lobby, and it's this Coca-Cola VW. Always liked bugs when I was a kid. I drove a couple of them in high school in the early 70s, so kind of like bugs in Hawaii. They were cheap on gas and everything, and you could still cram a lot of people in there. So I bought this kit at Hobby Lobby, and it's supposed to be a snap kit. I think that's what it says somewhere. But let me tell you, this was a very difficult kit, and I'm actually kind of proud because I got it done. So there it is. Gonna move the camera in a little closer so you can see it. I know the lighting's not real good in here. So this is probably the worst fitting model I put together in decades. So have a hard time opening and closing the hood and the trunk here and the hood back there, because the hinges are really tight. But I kind of detailed the inside. I know it's hard to see with this lighting in this office. It's not very good. So I used some Tamiya clear red, painted the backside before I glued this in with Elmer's glue. So that's how we get the red. Let's see, I can't open that anymore. Let me try turning the light on the camera, see if that'll help. I'm going to end up with shadows everywhere. But I kind of detailed the engine and everything, the engine compartment. And the bad thing is this thing does not sit very well. You can see it's not very tight on here. So here's the bottom half. So I can actually still kind of pull it apart. Maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah, it's supposed to snap in, but it really doesn't. So there's the engine compartment. The only thing I didn't do was I didn't wire it up. I guess I could have. So use a couple of different colors, like on the on these hoses here. I used rubber color. And highlighted the coil and the magneto, different shades of aluminum and steel on the inside. The dash, I thought the dash came out really good. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can close up in it. And it's, see, this part connects on the inside, so okay, there you go. See? I thought the dash came out pretty good, so that's why it's sitting crooked, because there's your locator pins up in here. Let me go back out. So you got these locator pins here and here, and that's where the dash and then the other part of the body go in. So this glass does not sit completely in, as you can see. Got this big line in here, and no matter how hard I push, it will not lock. The back window locks in. You're supposed to lock it in first, and I did, and then I try pushing the front, and it will not go anymore. So I just cannot get that to get in. I use HPI Guy's technique for painting it. I just used some Krylon baby blue on there. And then I should have sanded it after I painted, but I didn't. I just used future on top of it, and I think it looks pretty good. Came out not too bad. There's not a lot of orange peel on it. It's not perfect, but not too bad. You know, kind of detailed the interior a little bit. So it's a bear to put together. This thing, you know, all the sanding and trimming, there's a lot of flash on the parts. I don't know how this is supposed to be a snap kit. I mean, if I was a kid trying to put this together, it would have been thrown across the room a long time ago. The other thing, and I wrote to Polar Lights about it, is their instructions are kind of goofy. So let me put this off to the side without breaking it. I've already dropped it once. And let's see if we can talk through this. So, okay. So as, I don't know if you can see very well, but this is step one. Basically putting all the interior stuff in right here. This is step two, where you're putting in the carburetor and some of the exhaust and the firewall. And you can see the engine's already placed in the chassis. Well, when did we build a chassis? This is step three. You're putting the interior in, and the engine and all the other components are already in. Well, when did we build it? Then you go to step four, and we start putting the engine, the cylinder heads together, and then the rest of the engine together. And then step five, we're putting the bottom part in. Well, you're putting everything in from the bottom, and then you start gluing the rear end. So it's like, really? Really? So this should actually be step two instead of four, and this should be actually step three. So once you got this part done, then you can go back to what was labeled as step two, which is actually step four, should be step four, and put the rest of the engine components in, and then glue the interior in. So it's, again, it's, you know, we're all modelers, so we build things in segments, and we kind of look over the plans over and over and over and over again and figure out how to do it and how to do it correctly. So, but like I said, I'm kind of happy that I did get it done. And now I'm gonna go get some of the shelf queens and try to finish them off. Again, doesn't sit real tight, but hey, it's done. Thanks for watching. On to the next one.